Hello there, welcome back to Football-Oranje, your home of Dutch football. I'm Michael Statham, and I'm joined by a special guest today, Seba, who's an expert when it comes to South American football. Seba, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Michael. Thanks for having me here.
And you're well known for appearing on separate outlets in the UK and elsewhere in the world for your expert knowledge on Argentinian football. Some people may already know you, and we're really pleased to have you on. We're obviously going to pick your brains about Argentina, because this is a preview for Netherlands against Argentina, quarter-final of the World Cup. This is so exciting. I'm so pleased the Netherlands are here, and they've put in a great performance against the US last time out. So I'm just really hoping that this is going to be another top performance that gets people really excited to be a Netherlands fan. And I'm sure people watching would have been watching our live streams, maybe our match previews for years now, not just for this competition. And they've been looking forward to this moment that they can share with us, where the Netherlands, maybe as an international fan, they can enjoy this moment of the tournament getting to its final stages. And we hope, of course, I'm sure you are the opposite, Seba, that this won't be the final preview that we do. They get to the semis, they get to the final, they can place with the teams too. But Seba, how are Argentina feeling about getting to the quarterfinal stage like the Netherlands, but facing the Netherlands? Is this a team that you would have preferred to avoid? I know you said you've been watching the Netherlands throughout the competition. What do you make of them?
It's a huge game for Argentina, especially because Netherlands is a team for Argentina that we will always be attached with a country, especially with that long time ago final. But it's a national team that we know that they know how to play, and we like to watch them play. So it's gonna be a huge game. We respect a lot the Netherlands, and I'm not saying this because I'm with you. I'm literally saying that because it's true. We really like Netherlands. Of course, as an Argentinian, we want to beat them, but and of course that is a game that we would have liked to avoid, but it didn't happen. So we will need to face all of you and Netherlands, and I think it's going to be a massive game for both.
So this is a game that's packed with history. People were saying before this game that it's been Netherlands, Argentina in the quarterfinal. We can see it happening. There's all of these connotations of the past, comments about it, and here we are. We are here now at this magnificent looking quarterfinal. The Netherlands, they've had a mixed competition so far. Louis van Gaal, I keep saying it, he still has this unbeaten run since he took charge of the Netherlands last year. And it's continuing with a different style. It's not the style Netherlands fans are used to. Rather than this 4-3-3, we've got this 3-4-1-2, or for better words, I think it's just a 5-3-2. The wing backs are important. In this competition, the 3 group games, it was a bit underwhelming, and the game against Ecuador was terrible. 2 shots in the entire game. However, the last 16 tie against the United States was so much better that this side now looks like a side that could compete against Argentina. Early in the competition, no chance. But are they saving their best till last? Just make me wonder. Memphis Depay is back fit. He looks like he's firing. Cody Gakpo's having a great competition. He's in the form of his life so far. And the defence looks really solid. Hardly conceding many chances, let alone goals. So how can Argentina get the best out of this when... I mean, am I right in saying that most of the magic from this competition has come from Lionel Messi, for obvious reasons, and not a lot else around him?
Well, I think that Argentina have built a big team in terms of what they want. Of course, everything will be based on Messi, especially because it's probably his last World Cup. He's in his best performance, and but the manager built a team based on him. Because I think that this is what we needed. That is what Argentina needed in order to win the Copa America last year and try to reach, in this case, the quarterfinals of a World Cup. So, of course, as I mentioned before, Michael, it's going to be tough for Argentina, especially to break this defensive line and the back from the Netherlands. I believe that Argentina have the players to do it. But once again, it's always a tough game. It's always a difficult game to go against Netherlands. And you mentioned that the last game for Netherlands were better than the first one in the group stage. But this is a World Cup. That is why it's so difficult to win a World Cup, because you need to be so accurate in football and in these games that one mistake can make you get back home. So this is going to be a really interesting game to watch if you are a neutral, and
Mm.
quite a difficult one for all of us, which are going to want to win our team, of course.
Yeah, this is definitely a 50-50 game in my view. I mean, Argentina have a bit more in terms of quality. The Netherlands have got the team spirit, and I think the tactics, which makes it quite level. And it really is going to be who has that little slice of luck, maybe that mistake that happens, whatever it is, that will determine it. So far in this competition, apart from the United States match, I've been looking at under 2.5 goals for these kinds of games. And I think this could be another one where there won't be many goals, but there might maybe some action, and the Netherlands looking to counter attack. I'll come back to that question again. How are you going to break down this side where Noppert is in the goalkeeping form again? I'll say it of his life, and you've got a back five which includes three very good centre backs. You've got the height with Van Dijk. You've got the technical ability and the bullying sort of pushing you off the ball with Jurrien Timber. The fullbacks are playing as wing backs and actually defensively really quite sound. How are you going to do it? How is Messi going to ghost his way around this, especially if we've got some good solidity in midfield in front of that back five?
Yes, I think that in this World Cup, Argentina has discovered a midfielder, so like Enzo Fernandez, who is now in Benfica, who can associate with Messi and Rodrigo de Paul, and try to break the lines when Messi cannot do it. Messi is not the same Messi that was 10 years ago, that can take the ball in the mid and just break lines like he used to do it in Barcelona in 2010. So of course that you need other players. You need players like Julian Alvarez from Man City. You need players like Di Maria who can break the lines. And of course, I cannot not mention Messi in every single line. It's just because he's the main player. He's the player that we know that he's gonna break the game if it's needed, like he did against Mexico, and in the last game as well. So these are the players that we need to make sure that they are gonna make it, because Netherlands is a solid team. It's gonna be they are a strong team, especially in the defensive side, or that is what we think as an Argentinian, and the opposite team, let's say. So of course that is going to be tough. So we will need to work. Argentina will have to work as a team in terms of break the lines and make Netherlands not to go that deep, so they can make space and therefore have chances.
Yeah, that's how they got the joy for the United States, by sitting deep and letting the players have it in their own defensive line, because they weren't going to do much with it. But then, as soon as the turnover happened, the Netherlands were quick in interceptions. When they won the ball back, they were great with those defensive moves to get the ball back in their hands. Then they were devastating on the counter attack. The Netherlands have got Frank de Jong midfield, who is still having better games game upon game. I still think that a platform such as this competition at this stage, this is what he's made for, these kind of moments. Memphis is not great at club level, but is always producing this form for the Netherlands. That they are quick and up front. They are so technical. There are balls coming in from out wide, which aren't coming from like flying English wingers. They're coming from quite technically gifted Dutch players, and it's dangerous. Do you think that Argentina have what it takes defensively to deal with this? We watched Lisandro Martinez for a long time with Ajax. We know how really damn good he is. Do you think that they have those? I'm sure you're confident being an Argentinian football supporter, but how confident do you feel with them winning these duels and being able to deal with this pace in the counter-attack?
That's why I
Or do
said
the
at the
Netherlands have a
beginning.
chance here? Or this is probably the way they're going to do it, again, by sitting deep and playing on the counter-attack?
And I found, or we found as an Argentinian, that every team that they are deep and they're trying to defend that deep will make damage to Argentina because it's
Mm,
difficult to break the line.
mm,
So of course, at the Netherlands, will they have chances? I think that what they are going to do is something similar that they did with Australia, that they gave the ball at least for a few minutes to say, okay, Netherlands, this is your chance. Take the ball, try to make your game, because Argentina also have a really good fast players to get in contract with Di Maria and Julian Alvarez and Messi, and if Acuna is playing instead of Tagliafico, for instance, on the left back. So I think that they're both gonna play like that way, or especially Argentina. So saying I think that Argentina is the one who's gonna take control of the position of the ball. But when they cannot break the lines, when they cannot make chances or and get into the box, that is when they're gonna say, okay, there you go. We can finish 0-0, or you can try to have your chances.
that's
With
fascinating. No, I was say it's fascinating that the Netherlands are playing that way, and that does seem to be the way. I've watched Argentina, I think I watched more apart from the first game against Saudi Arabia. Since then, I've been watching them quite closely, knowing what was probably in waiting for the Netherlands, and they look in some ways a really quite pragmatic class kind of side. They've got loads of qualities, but then also, what have they faced so far that's really going to make them genuinely worried? And there hasn't been that real big challenge. Then the Mexico game was an example where I was a bit disappointed that Mexico didn't give it a bit more, didn't show quite what they had, because I feel like if they did and put Argentina under some pressure, it felt like the goal was coming, and that's how my confidence comes from with the Netherlands, and I think people watching as well we're feeling the same. What's your reaction to that? Do you think Argentina are yet to have that big test?
they of course that they will have the big test, especially because of what I said at the beginning of this chat. Netherlands is a country, it's a national team that we all respect, and we all know that they are one of the biggest teams in this sport, in football. And of course that is why I'm saying, I always think that it's going to be tough. Mexico, Poland, and Australia against Argentina, they did what I think the Netherlands will do, but Netherlands, they will have better players and a better
Yeah.
system to do it. So that is why I think that is going to be tough for Argentina. I think that a game, for instance, and a game against Brazil will be easier than against Netherlands because of the way that they are playing both teams. So yeah, it's going to be difficult, at least from our side. Maybe during the game, after 10 minutes, it's a completely different game, and the result is going to be like 1-1-0, one each. You know what I mean? But I don't think so. I think it's going to be a close game, like last game in 2014 in Brazil, similar than this one. Hopefully for me with a good result, but a tough game anyway.
Yeah, I don't see it being like 0-0 going all the way to penalties. Personally, maybe a 1-1 going to penalties, but I just don't think they'll be like goalless the whole way. I just don't see that with the magic that's on the pitch. I hope Memphis can play the whole game. That will be one of my concerns. That if he has to come off later in the game and there's extra time, without him, there is a lack of sharpness in attack. And then also, if the Netherlands have had great replies to going behind in the past year and a bit under Louis van Gaal. However, I think going 1-0 down to Argentina early in this game would also be difficult, and I don't think they're going to have. They're going to find it as easy at all to get back into the game if that is the case, because of the Argentinas, like you said, being able to have that magic when there's a bit more space in behind, and Netherlands won't suddenly be able to play that defensive style. So let's hope that this goes well and they can keep it tight in the first half. At least that's how I think, anyway, from my perspective. So I think just for Netherlands fans watching, a predicted lineup is going to look very similar to the United States game. Perhaps one or two changes. We're going to see Noppert back in goal. Dumfries, Timber, Van Dijk, Ake, and Blint. Definitely it's a back five. People saying that things need to change now. I don't think now is a time for that kind of thing. Frenkie de Jong certainly in midfield. And I think Louis van Gaal could change the midfield here. So it could be turn Koopmeiners for a bit more time on the ball, or with Martin Delone for a bit more defensive work. But last time he was hauled off at half time, as was Davy Klaassen. I don't think he'll be playing this time. It could be that Cody Gakpo plays as attacking midfielder, and we have Memphis and Bergwijn as the two attackers, which would be a little more attack-minded from Louis van Gaal going to this one. But if he's picking his best players, that might be the way to do it. How about from yourself, Seba, from your side? Are there going to be any big changes from Argentina? Maybe
there's always changes.
Yeah.
Yes, always changes in Argentina, especially with Scaloni as a manager, which is something that I think is quite good because we realize that there are more players. You asked me a couple of minutes ago. You asked me about the team apart from Messi, and that is a good sign because you can put any other player, and we know that they will perform as expected. So I think, of course, that Divo Martinez will be on the goals, the Aston Villa player. The four in the back will be probably the same, okay? With Molina, with Otamendi, with Cuti Romero, and Acuna. One of the things that can happen is that Tagliafico can play that game. You already know him probably more than me in the last couple of years. Even though I know him quite a lot for Argentina, but probably Acuna, especially because Netherlands have really good, fast, wingers or players playing on both sides. Then this is another doubt for Scaloni. We don't know if he's going to play Paredes in the middle, or it's going to be Enzo Fernandez, De Paul, and McAllister, the same midfield, and of course the three on the top and on the attacking, which is Messi, Julian Alvarez, and probably Di Maria, which is not fit, he wasn't fit in the last for the last game, and he's going to make it for the game on Friday.
Well, that's interesting team news, and we'll see how they get on against the Netherlands. So I know we've touched upon it already, but what is your prediction for Netherlands versus Argentina?
Apart from being difficult, I think that the pressure that Argentina have in the moment of winning a World Cup and being on a quarterfinal, I think that Argentina will make it, but it's going to be tight. It's going to be that 1-0 with a magic of Messi or Julian Alvarez or something like that. But it's gonna be tough, honestly. I mean, I cannot say a draw because they cannot draw. It cannot be a draw. If not, I would have said that. I think Argentina will make it because I think that it will make it until the final. But that's what I thought at the beginning of the World Cup. But tied, really tied.
Yeah, it's not going to be a very comfortable watch for us, is it? It's going to be like, I'm behind the sofa, peeking out. What's the score?
No, I'm already feeling sick. Imagine that.
Well, my confidence before the tournament was the Netherlands could make it really, really far, possibly win the whole thing. But now I've watched the Netherlands. The group stage set me back with my confidence. Probably the right way around it, because at least then it made me enjoy the United States match more. That I didn't think that they'd suddenly come out and play so well. They are going to play well again. I am worried if Argentina score, having Netherlands got 2 goals in them against Argentina, and also if they go behind and it's extra time, and like I said, Memphis has to come off because of his fitness not quite being right. I think again the Netherlands struggle. Then it's you're looking at something like penalties. Penalties. Then it's anyone's guess, isn't it? But I'm gonna be confident, and I'm gonna say Argentina have a tough night in front of goal. But the Netherlands go defensive mode in this one. They get a goal at some point. I'd be surprised if they don't get a goal in the whole evening. I said it'd be low on goal, so therefore 1-0 to the Netherlands. But I can see the opposite happening of Argentina scoring in the first half and the Netherlands finding it tough to get back in the game. And if they did, have they got the longevity over extra time to keep going? They might not. And that'll be so devastating for it to be over at the quarterfinal stage. It's like they've got as far as they had to do. They've got to quarterfinals, and now it's, right, what are they really made of? Are they really the best in the world?
I completely agree with you. I mean, that is why it's so difficult to predict this game, especially
Mm.
because they are both really, really good teams. So of course that um, it is difficult to just say a result, because especially what happened in this World Cup, we've been seeing quite a lot of strange results, or not strange, those results that we didn't expect, and
And quite
um,
often too, right? Because it's been a
yeah,
couple of shock results in most tournaments, but this many, it's a tournament keeps on giving, and we're loving every minute of it, I think.
no, that's a thing. I think that, I mean, if Netherlands wins the game, uh, that will be not great for me, of course, but that will a result that we can expect as well. So you will not lose
Yeah.
against a team that you shouldn't lose. Um, that is why I'm saying it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be really, really difficult. I'm looking forward to speak with you after after the game to see what we think about it. But it's gonna be difficult. Yeah. Yes.
Well, hopefully so. And thanks everyone for watching. And we hope we can also see you in the live stream after the game, where whether we win or lose, we will be talking about the game, dissecting it with some other guests as well. If everyone enjoyed this, give it a like, subscribe if you're new to Football-Oranje and the YouTube channel. We do, of course, have a website too and a Twitter page, both popular. But give some love to the YouTube page, give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, comment down below. What do you think will happen in this game? There'll be a lot of confident Netherlands fans, I'm sure, having watched them beat the United States, who will be saying, of course we can beat Argentina. They're nothing special. Blah, blah, blah. But we want to hear all about it. So drop me all these comments down below, and we'll respond to each and every one of you. And yeah, we'll see you after the live stream. See you in the live stream after the Netherlands-Argentina game. And hopefully, Netherlands fans are all smiling. Thanks, Seba, for joining me, and thanks, everyone, for watching.